Let's go see what we find after splashing the boat. You won't believe all the issues we have. He said the port side blower is tripping the breaker, and it does sound a little rough when you start it up. Now I have to find it. It's blowing black mold all over the place. Well, what I'm doing right now is looking for the air handler. And it can be kind of difficult sometimes to find these things. I know it's somewhere right in here. Pull the back of the cushions off on the sofa and see if I can figure out. This is the boat that we changed the IPS on. This port side blower, he says, has been blowing the breaker, although it's working fine right now. I'm hopeful it's not the blower, but it probably is. But there's also a capacitor on here. I just have to find it. It's not back here. The port side engine now has some kind of vibration, so I have to run that, and I have to hook the Vodi up to it maybe and do an injector test, cylinder compression test, and see if it's anything to do with that. And then the generator, which we fixed, it works, but it doesn't work in auto mode. It only works in manual. Oh yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Iced tea. Blueberry, I think. This is an ozone generator. It's got these two little probes on it. As the airflow goes past it, splits atoms or something. And then he's also got a UV light in here. So we may have a different problem than what he's thinking. See how these coils up here don't have any ice on them, but these do? That's usually a sign that the system is low on refrigerant, and this unit could be icing up. That could be the problem. Man, I don't know. In order to get this thing, if I have to pull this blower off, I'm going to have to remove this woodwork and maybe this panel here. There should be a capacitor back there, but I can't really get in there to feel it. What are the chances that this would come out? I know, I'm thinking the same thing right now. I really need to buy a cordless screw gun. They make a little screwdriver like this, a little powered screwdriver. I haven't found a good one yet. That's battery powered. This is hand powered. This always works. I don't think that there's anything wrong with the blower motor. I don't think there's anything wrong with the capacitor. I think the system is low on refrigerant because the bottom coils are freezing up. And I think what's happening is it's causing all the condensate to freeze, and then it's getting a big block of ice in there, and it's not allowing the wheel to spin. We'll go check the refrigerant level. All right, well, we're waiting for some supplies. I'm gonna hop over here and look at this. This is my buddy's boat. So I'm gonna look at this starboard engine. I've been told that the seal on the main shaft seal on the starboard engine is shot. And every time they use the boat, they're having to have to refill almost the whole engine with oil. Let's see what happens when I go down here. My buddy asked me to coordinate this. I'm probably, because these are MTUs, probably gonna have them have my buddy from up north come down. Yeah, that'd be why all this oil's in here. You can see where they've been keeping it clean. And he's got V drives, which is going to be not a lot of fun. That right there is where the seal is. All these diapers down here.
How's it going? All right, so today we're going to do a 300-hour service on these 3 Mercuries with our Mercury tech. So what is it pretty much? Spark plugs, water pump,
fuel filters,
zincs, all the filters. It's gonna take a while, that's for sure. All right, here are the first 6 of the 18 spark plugs. They honestly don't look that bad. I mean, of course, a little fouling, a little worn, but overall, they still look pretty good. So that's a good sign. All right, so we got all 18 plugs out. Those plugs are changed. That oil filter's changed. These plugs are changed. That oil filter's changed. Manny here is working on the lower units while I'm doing the top, kind of, so we don't get in each other's way and get this done as quickly as possible. All 18 plugs don't even look that bad. We also replaced the thermostat as well, but we don't have the tool for this clip right here. So all we did was pretty much just took it apart, took the inside out. Trying to do this with one hand is a bit hard. You get the gist, and then that goes between the ears and locks it in. So what I've been doing is just taking these off, taking the old internals out over here, and then just swapping the new ones in instead of just swapping the entire housing. So right now, I'm working on changing the fuel filters here. Here are the new ones. The fuel itself doesn't look that bad, but right now what I'm doing is when you buy them new, they come with these plugs right here. You have to take them off and then put in this plug connector. That's how it detects if there's any water in the fuel, and it'll send you an error message through this plug right here.
Okay, you guys can now see that frost a lot better down there on these coils. Sign of low refrigerant. So let's hop down below and find the salon unit. We'll get hooked up to it and see if we're low. So I'm pretty sure it's that one right there. Yeah, we are way low on charge. So we're going to top it off, see if it runs for a couple days. I don't see any signs of leakage, but that doesn't mean anything. Let's get this in. So I'm all hooked up here. Remember, anything that starts with a 4 goes in upside down. It's got to go in as a liquid because it's a blended refrigerant. You try to put it in the gas, you get different gases mixed and it doesn't work right. So the next thing we have to work on is that generator right there. We fixed it and it'll run now and make power in manual mode, but if you put it in auto mode, it shuts down immediately, starts tripping a code for UF, which is under frequency, but I don't necessarily believe that's what's actually wrong with it. The problem is with these generators is that's a Kohler generator. I'm not a Kohler dealer, and you have to have special hookups for it right there, and you also have to have the programming to get into it, and since I'm not a dealer, I don't have that. All right, I got some refrigerant put in that unit. It was low. Let's go see if our coils are still frosted over. Hopefully they're not. Sorry if I'm not always looking at you guys straight in the eyes. The times I'm watching where I'm going. Oh, look at that. See that? All that frost is gone. That means that we're getting there. I think it needs a little more though. Yeah, and then the coils should be cold all the way to the top. Before, only the bottom ones were cold. Now they're cold all the way to the top. So I know that's kind of counterintuitive. You're like, well, hold it, Matt. Wouldn't it be, if it's low on refrigerant, how would it ice up? Well, believe it or not, it's got something to do with how many refrigerant molecules are in there, and they're bouncing around, and when they bounce and hit each other, they make heat, and that's what keeps it from icing up. If you're too low, there's not enough of those molecules to bounce around and hit each other, and it doesn't create enough heat. And that's like the dummied down version of it. There's some physics and all kinds of math involved and stuff like that. So, but we'll keep it simple for today. Let me go down. I'm going to add some more refrigerant, and I think I'm going to tell the owner we're going to leave this all open so that I can come back and check this, see what it looks like.
The blind squirrel. Wow, they look like they're going fishing.
Yeah, I think they do trips like out to Pulaski Shoal and stuff.
Looks like fun. That's going to be us soon on our own boat.
Yep. I don't know. Pulaski Shoal is a long ways. I don't know.
No, I didn't say shoal. Fishing.
Oh, fishing. Fishing will be great. I can't wait. Looks like the seals failed on the port side raw water pump. It's spraying water. One of these engines has a bad vibration. I guess I'm going to have to start them up and see what they're talking about. I was kind of waiting for that because I wanted the generator guy to call me so I could work on that first before I start these engines and get this engine room too hot. Let me get these gauges disconnected and out of here, and we'll do that, and then I'll start the engines and see what I can figure out. Okay, I've got the ignition fired up. Home station selected. Let's hit the ignition. We're going to do the port engine first. That's interesting.
Our AC turned off?
Yeah, it tripped the breaker. Let me go down here real quick. Yeah, it's definitely something going on with those engines. They're shaking, rattling, rolling in neutral big time.
Yeah, the whole floor is shaking.
Yeah. We're going to hook up the switch box to the engines, because that way I can switch back and forth between engines without having to reboot everything and start over.
So you're hooking up the Bodia because
the engines are vibrating badly. Not sure what's going on with that. We did a sea trial a couple weeks ago and the pod was good. Everything checked good at the time, but it was blowing 20 plus. So it was a little rough. So we didn't notice any vibration, but just sitting here at the dock, I started them up independently and then I started them both together and the whole boat is just shaking, something fierce. So I'm going to hook this up. We're going to do an injector test, probably a cylinder compression test, see if there's anything that I see. I already know that the port side engine, the water pump failed. I have to get a new water pump for that. Where's my other cord? Here it is. Run this up. I'm going to put a hard start on it, and I am also going to replace that blower over there because of that black mold blowing all over the place.
All right, so right now I'm just filling up all the motors. Manny's making sure that all the lower unit is good and has no air in it, but I've pretty much done everything else. Fuel filters, oil filters, thermostats, spark plugs. We got new inline fuel filters for just 2 right now. We couldn't find one more. He's going to go to another shop and pick it up. All right, so we got everything buttoned up. Everything's good to go. Right now, we're running water through it, and we're going to check if the shift shafts have lined up correctly. All right, whenever you're ready. All right, go ahead. All right, go ahead.
All right, I'm hooked up the central system. Now let's go plug into the engines.
Is there a fan down there? Since it's pretty hot from running them.
Yep, there's a fan down there, and it's actually on all the time.
We try not to have our guys go in the engine rooms when they are hot. And if they do, it's only for a few minutes.
All right, let's go get this hooked up and plugged in there. Take this inside here. Okay, don't close the door on the cable.
Okay.
Oh, hang on one thing. Go look at something here. Not a fan of this design right here, I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's pretty tight.
Yep. D11. D11. Okay, ignitions are on.
What did we just do?
We ran all the injectors. We turned them on and off individually so I could look at the engine and feel the engine, but then also we can look at the fuel burn on there. Now that it's warmed up some more, we're going to redo the compression test of the port engine because I think that fuel burn on this one is way out of whack compared to the port engine. All right, I've seen worse engine mounts. I've seen better engine mounts. They don't look that bad. So I'm starting to wonder if something is out of alignment.
I guess on to the next project.
Here's what we got. I ordered a new blower for that because you guys see all those black spots back here. I ordered a new blower for that. I have to get, for the compressor, I'm going to change out the start components. So that's the start cap, the run cap, and I'm also going to see if there's a smart start in there. And I'm going to put a hard start on it too. That's for the salon air conditioning because it keeps tripping the breaker. The Starboard engine has a higher fuel burn and it's got a little bit of a vibration. So we're going to come back after things cool down tomorrow. I'm going to take the safety covers off the drive shaft. I'm going to do a stick test, which is where you start the engine. You put a stick on the rotating drive shaft, very carefully, by the way, and see if it bounces. If it bounces, then we have to look at changing out the coupler on the drive shaft. There's rubber pucks in there. And when that pod went bad, if he hit something, he could have damaged the rubber pucks inside that coupling, and that could be causing the engine to vibrate. You can feel it in your feet in the whole boat. Once I disconnect it, then I will also start the engine and see if we still have vibration. So that's what the plan is. Oh, the generator, come to find out that these relays, this is one spare that I have, but there's 4 in there. So we're going to change all these relays out, and hopefully that will solve the problem with the generator not running in auto. Runs in manual, but not auto. So there's 3 of these. We ordered them. They'll come in a couple of days, and we will change them out. Hopefully that'll fix that. And I think what I'm going to do, because it looks like the weather's building, we'll see what happens. I have a whole bunch of paperwork I need to do, but also the boat that I was supposed to really work on today is not available. It's out on a charter. I get out of doing that one. And so I'm going to head back to the shop, and I might actually go out for lunch because I'm getting hungry. And since the wife is here, why not?
Is Bad Boy Burrito open?
I think it is.
How'd I do as a helper?
You did great. Hey, Mitch. Gonna try to beat this rain home.
You think he's coming his way?
They say it's supposed to, but who knows with the weather around here. Good, good. You? Nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, watch the lightning, Mitch. I know. Oh, here come all the crab boats coming back.
I'd be coming back too with that weather.
Yeah, it's looking a little, ooh, it's pouring over there. Looking a little rough. Punch bug.
Oh, you
Got
me,
you.
dude. You said we're not supposed to do it on the way back.
Yeah, but you cheat, so I cheat.
Oh, man. Look at you peeking around the corner.
I'll make sure.
I don't see him.
Okay, I might be okay. Heading down the dock to a boat. We've been working on this one for a while. It's the one with the engine that's been vibrating and loping. We changed a couple injectors. I'm going down to check on Mel, see how he is coming along with the valve adjustment and everything. So we'll go take a look at that. And then I got Chris is working right over here somewhere, and we'll go check on him. And unfortunately, I am here by myself. And look at that. I got nobody to punch bug. Get my exercise this morning, so that's a good thing. But it always seems like these boats are always, how come the boats are never over there? Right by the parking lot. Why are they always all the way down here? Check this out, and hopefully we can maybe run this motor later today. We'll see what happens. Ooh, tomorrow's Friday, and you can see our weather is building. We were hopeful to go out on the boat and do some deep dropping this weekend. However, it's supposed to rain, so I don't know if we'll be able to get out this weekend. It's not so much the rain, it's the wind and the lightning. I don't know, we'll see.
Found the marks. They're down here. They're not up here.
Oh yeah, no, they're down there. Right, that's where they all are. They're not up here. They're
Okay,
down there.
I was looking here because these are the tabs for the sender. So I'm looking for which one's 1, 2, 3, whatever.
Yeah,
there
no,
it's here.
no, it's there. Yeah.
This is gonna take forever
Why?
because I can turn it that much each time. Number 3.
Okay. I found Mel with his tie-dyed bandana on. We're getting ready to check the valve lash on these. So what you have to do is you crank, there's a little adapter down there. You crank it till those numbers line up with those marks in between. So he's got number 3 right now. So you go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's got to loosen these up and then check the lash in there. So what you're doing is checking how much play is in here. And I can tell you from just past knowledge, if you guys can see that, that's going to be way out of adjustment. So what you do is you loosen up that nut, take an Allen wrench and put it in there, and then you drive that down to tighten it up. And then you take feeler gauge, which is just a sleeve of little pieces of different thickness of metal, and you shove it in here like this. There you go. And you check the gap. And those gaps all have to be set according to what's in the manual. So Mel will be working on that today. Let's go ahead and get started. It's about to get loud. That's a Super Hornet. You guys know, you've been watching us. The job started out changing a pod. The engine's vibrating really bad. So Volvo is sending a specialist down on Tuesday. I don't know what's wrong with the engine, and that's why they're sending a specialist down. We'll see what they have to say.
How much have you already taken apart?
So the engine was vibrating, right? And so they thought maybe it was that brand new pod we put on. So I disconnected the whole drivetrain, took that all off. Drive shaft is gone.
Whoa, simmer down.
Simmer down, simmer down. The drive shaft is disconnected. All the hardware's off. The Vulcan disc, everything's off. Supercharger belt, everything. Yeah, look at this blue heron. Oh, sorry, buddy. He's not gonna be happy with us because we're gonna keep following him.
Yeah.
So the boat's been down here. I mean, the owner's pretty happy with us. You know, it's not our fault that this stuff is happening. I've been staying right on that boat, right on trying to get it wrapped up. In the meantime, the poor guy, we've had batteries die. We had to replace batteries. We had the forward air conditioning die. We had to replace that. And we had to replace the main start components in the salon air conditioning. Oh, and we had to replace an evaporator up in the salon because the blower seized up and was all rotted out. So it's been an ongoing progress, but he says that he's pretty happy having us take care of the boat. We're going to keep pressing on with that.